Let's talk about it. Back with another video. So exciting. Where is it so excited? What's that like? You know the...
No, I don't.
Okay. Anyways. But yeah, so we are talking about whooping our children. Disciplining our children. I would say just like a little input on how we do things when it comes to disciplining our kids. So yeah. I think that each kid is different. I don't think it's a one-size-fit-all thing when it comes to disciplining your children. Especially with me being a social worker, there's just been a lot of things that I've read and studies that's just kind of going to show what is more effective and not. And I also would just love to get your input on what you think about disciplining our kids. And I would like to start off, well, already been talking, but I would like to say this is how this will work for us. This might not work for every couple, and that's totally fine. Whatever works for you and your family, I encourage that. Moms and dads, you guys know what's best for your children. And we're just talking about what we've known that works best for us, because we have a 13-year-old, a 7-year-old, 5-year-old, and one in the oven. So yeah. So let's talk about, do you want to start like with all our type of ways we discipline our kids, or like how do you want to start?
Yeah, I guess you could go one by one, I guess.
Okay. So what do you think about spanking a kid on the butt? And I would like to say too, I don't want to cut you off, but like I want to talk about when we say whipping, we don't mean abuse. We don't mean beating them silly. We don't mean abuse. When I say whipping is whether you pat them on the butt, get a slipper, what do you got, the chanclas, and pop them on the butt, or like pop on the hand. I'm not saying like repeatedly whoop them with a belt. I feel like that's just too much. So when I say whooping a kid, I mean like just like a couple of swaps with something, if anything.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You think this is abuse?
That's abuse. No, but
I
think
gonna get flagged?
No, I think I guess it's the topic you're going off of, but I think as far as our parenting kind of dissipated more from our parents. But I would say physical, the physical aspect of it is not there, because I try to see other means of how to discipline kids without physically touching them, either with a shoe or a belt or a switch or whatever, extension cord, a wooden spoon, a pot, whatever. Yeah.
Well, geez, see, now I feel bad.
Yeah.
But I most definitely think that a kid could get popped in the butt with the hand. Especially, I feel like when they're kind of like, a little bit younger and they do something, I feel like a little pop on the butt won't hurt.
Yeah, that's fine.
I feel like when they get older, though, that's when physical abuse is just, to me, it's just not effective. It's just no point of it because they're too old for that. I feel like you do the little popping on the butt or the little, hey, popping on the hand. Now, when they're, a little bit younger, like 2 or 3, so they can know it's not okay. For you could check it down, because when you get older you can't be popping them, because I just feel like it's just no point when they get that older. But I don't think nothing's wrong with a little pop on the butt or the hand when they're young.
So what's your type of punishment, or I guess your type of disciplining? Seems like it's physical for you.
It's not. And I'm gonna be honest, Dad is the one who disciplines them, and I know that I should be better. Because I'm saying all this, but you guys, I'm not the disciplinary, or what's the word? Disciplinarian? That's not a word.
Bad cop, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not the one who disciplines them more. I'm more of like, kind of like, I threaten them with their dad, which I told my husband I would stop doing that, because I think that's kind of annoying that I constantly threaten them with like, I'm going to get your dad. But I think it's appropriate to, spank on the butt of their hand. I don't think that there's wrong with that. But I do think that for some children, it just simply won't work. And that's where you have to start getting creative, like taking things from them. And like, when you say something, you keep your word. So like, hey, I'm going to take your tablet, or hey, you're not going to play with this for XYZ amount of days and go through with it, because I've noticed that a lot of parents don't go through with it. Like they say it, but they don't go through with it. Well, your kid's never going to take you serious. So I don't think popping a kid is, of course, the answer. I feel like some kids that works. Some kids you just gotta give them that look, you know, like.
Yeah, I'll say, as far as what you're touching on, as long as you're spanking them, but it's not coming out of a rage or you feeling some type of way. Because I think that's overboard. If you over here feel or you're upset and you're taking it overboard, so it has to be mutually neutral.
You are like, I feel like you're making me seem like such a bad parent. No. But no, that's true though. You are not supposed to discipline your kids out of, like, if you're angry, it's not especially when it comes to popping and stuff like that. Like, you do have to watch that. Like, if you're angry, you shouldn't probably pop your kid than if you're like in a rage. You know, that's most definitely fair to say. That.
Correct it, but not take it out on them.
Yeah. Ooh, I like that. Look at you.
But I think more of, I guess, her adding on of who does what and kind of threaten and stuff like that. I feel like if you say something to your kids, you have to go through with it. Even if it was dramatic at the moment, you could reevaluate the punishment. But if you're going to do something, you have to do it. You can't threaten them like, I'm going to take away this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do... And then the punishment, it doesn't follow through. So then the kids kind of see it and it's like, oh, well, they're all bark, no bite, so I'm going to be doing it again. And I think that's where the tantrums come and whatever the disciplinary thing comes in, because it's always what, between at least us, it's always what mom says and what dad says. And they know when dad says something, it holds more weight than mom, because mom is more lenient, or even when it comes to certain things, she might not agree with it, but it's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know, simple as throw out the trash. I tell someone to throw out the trash. It has to happen within that moment. When mom does it, oh no, whenever, you know, just make sure you get to it and throw it away. And I would
say I'm a little bit more lenient, like, hey, when you just get around to it, but dad is like, nah, get it done now. Yeah. I feel like I give my kids grace when it comes to that, because you just never know. I don't know. I am really lenient. I am.
It's not like they're doing much anyways, right? Especially when they're at the house, just on tablets or hanging out or just chilling, watching TV. It's not like I'm only doing it because they're actually not genuinely doing nothing. Yeah. They can be productive. So I want productivity in our house.
Yeah. And I like to say we really haven't had to go to like the popping stage. It really wasn't.
Yeah, that's been and done with our kids.
I feel like for us, what works with us is wall sits.
Well, she doesn't do nothing with wall sits, but I think what works for us is specifically me, because I'm the one that does it, is I've gone away from physical, so ain't no bells, ain't no nothing crazy like that. I mean, mind you, sometimes maybe a pop or a nudge or a flick in the hand for not doing certain things, or sticking their hands in their mouth after they want to go to the bathroom, touch this doorknob.
Boys are so gross.
You know, be like, hey, you know, just flick a little, you know, nothing too crazy, but just make sure to remind them, hey, don't put those nasty fingers or start biting their nails, especially, you know, if they want to go to the porta potty at the park or something, and then they're over here touching their face, or, you know, but I'd say I sticked away from physical just for the fact that I think, you know, I think you could take it overboard. Even me talking, like, I could get frustrated and mad. It's such a
thin line. So that's why I feel like you really have to be very mature, really have to be very intentional if you do decide to go down that popping route. And then also just what I learned is that it could cause more damage to a child. The child could have anger issues growing up. The child could go to school and bully.
Also I think it's based on fear too, because I don't want my kids to fear me. Yeah. So I know I can overpower them very easily, regardless of how old they are right now. But I don't want them to ever fear me and then do things because they're scared. So from the physical aspect of beating them with stuff or something, that kind of, you know, stop doing that. I mean, I think it's a generational thing with us. So I didn't like it growing up, so I didn't want to really pass that on to my kids. So I do more of a conditioning with my kids. So whether that be push-ups, you know, like she said, wall sits, you know, kind of things that puts them in a predicament where it hurts. It thinks I could have a conversation with them as they're going through the pain and suffering, where I think they get more out of it, you know, especially with our oldest. It's like physical activities ain't really affecting him much anymore because he's an athletic kid.
Yeah.
He does football, wrestling, track. I mean, you name it, he does it. So this physical aspect of it, he can do it now. He can basically keep up with me when it comes to physical activity. But so I can't be like, oh yeah, I do 20 push-ups and now he's just struggling. No, now it's like, you know, me and him could go neck to neck when it comes to stuff like that. But so I have to take a different approach with him now because first it was physical, do this, do that. And he'd be like, I can't do it. And we'll talk about it. He'll learn his little lessons. Now it's more, I have to tackle him emotionally. Like it has to hurt his, how can you say, his soul or his heart.
I would like to say one thing too, that really, when we first got together with Nehemiah, you voiced it very early that you weren't comfortable with like physically popping him or anything physically. And I really love that, that you just weren't comfortable with it because, you know, you just weren't. So I really love that with, you know, with the last two, Baby Jose and Noah, you are more comfortable with like popping them. But with Nehemiah, you've been in Nehemiah since Nehemiah was 3. So you were just never comfortable with like the physical popping. And I respected that because I did that. But that's one thing that really stood out to me that I really liked, how you do, because I do think you have the patience. And that's why I feel like you're the better parent to discipline them, because you're just, I don't know, when it comes to your emotions and you being more patient and you're just more thoughtful about it. And sometimes I could just get mad and overwhelmed. And that's why I feel like we even each other out when it comes to that, because I know that it takes a lot for you to get overwhelmed. So I feel like you're thinking more of it as like a logical standpoint. With me, I'm emotional.
Yeah, I think I have more patience for the aspect of you're quick. I feel like certain people want quick responses back or quick, you know, outcomes, to where even if I don't agree with something, even at the table, and the kid throws a tantrum or something, I would literally sit there with them until tantrum is done, until point is across. And it could take literally minutes. It could take a couple minutes. It could take a couple hours. But I'm there. Like, you're not going to outdo my patience how I'm going to discipline you. So I guess it's a battle where to see who caves in. And I'm not the person that's going to cave in when it comes to punishment. So,
and I am.
Yeah, well, she's gotten better with it, but not really. But I'm the one that deals with all of it. But like I said, you have to cater to every kid separately, because as I say, as kids go through seasons and phases in their lives, certain things don't work. Like I said, certain things don't work with Nehemiah no more. Now I have to kind of attack that emotional pride or ego he has and make him feel like he's disappointed us, or you know, upset me or upset mom, or you know, have let us down. More of a disappointment, but at the same time, it ain't where, you know, where he feels like, oh, you know, there's no coming back. We still love and nurture it, because we want him to understand that we still care, but he's disappointed us in a way that we're just like, that just doesn't go with our morals and values. But as far as the little ones, I could take advantage of the physical, because they're tiny and small. Of course, I'm not gonna, you know, overdo it with the little guys. You know, definitely. I'm not gonna make them carry 80, 50-pound cement bags outside and make them go around the house. But you know, their little bodies here and there, you know, little push-ups here and there, or wall sits, they feel it. So
I think that because we're millenniums, and I think that we learn so much from our parents of like what to do and then what not to do. So I feel like just as because I feel like we both got whoopings, crazy whoopings. I mean, belts, swish.
Let me put my mom on the spot right now.
Shut up. Stop. But name it. I mean, I got it all. I got the belts. I got the what's like a switch.
Wow, go into details.
When you go get the branch.
Hopefully your mom
if you know, you know. If you know, you know. You would go outside, get a switch. And that's like a little wooden stick, and don't bring back the little thinnest one, because she will go out there and get a big one. Extension cords, belts. I mean, it was all. Like, it was also, that's one thing that I would just never do. And I'm not, and at the same time, you know, I'm not saying that to like, you know.
Mind you, I think some of the, I mean, I guess disciplinary things my parents did was for a reason, but you know, some of it I won't agree, and some of it, you know, it's kind of like their defense, our defense, and how we seen things when we were younger and how they did it. But I would say the biggest thing for me is, you know, because I seen it and firsthand. Sometimes I feel like I experienced it, even though it might get backlash from my parents. But it was out of spite. It was out of anger. It was because maybe, came home one day and someone cut you off on the highway or said something to you at work, or and it kind of correlated to I wasn't able to take it out on that specific moment, so it kind of built up on you.
I believe that's called displacement anger, if I believe.
So.
But Mama,
but not all the time. But
I love you, Mama.
Yeah, not all the time. I'm saying it happened, but because like I said, sometimes it probably was because I wasn't doing the right thing, because I'm, as troublemakers as we were growing up, maybe, it was the right direction.
But I think that, like I said, to me, I think life is about perspective. So I look at it like my parents, when my mother taught me also things that I could work on as a parent, and then just kind of checking myself, would I see me doing things that I didn't like that was done to me. So I think that us being millennials, we just I don't know, I feel like we're just a little bit more mature when it comes to our emotions, and whooping is not always the answer. There's so many more other things you can do. Now, I'm not against it, like I said, but I think there's just so many other options that are more effective, and I feel like it's been proven too that's more effective than just whooping your kids. Because there comes a point to like where you kind of have to really question yourself, are you just whooping them because, you can't control your emotion? Is it out of rage, or are you teaching them something? And they're going to learn from that. So yeah, but I just kind of wanted to get on here and just touch base about how we discipline our kids. And like I said, this works for us. But yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the disciplinary stuff came from the military for me too. So I would say a lot of the stuff I make my kids do is what I was done on, and it hurts. Don't get me wrong, it hurts and whatever, but it ain't something to where I'm gonna feel bad about it, because maybe they're just gonna have some sore shoulders or arms or legs or a nice core or whatever it is, but it's something not too crazy where I'm not leaving welts or bruises or we get in trouble for something, or have to stay home from school or some craziness like that, but
and I think that, and mind you, and I'm not even trying to brag or be dramatic, but our kids are not bad kids.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like we rarely have to discipline them. But quick. I just feel like because you checked it from the very jump, like you've very clear from the very jump. You checked it from the very jump, so they don't get in trouble a lot. But I'll never forget the time where my oldest, Nehemiah, yelled at me, and he yelled in my face, and he's never done that before. And I was so taken back that I just like screamed your name. And I remember you had him, how like, was it 5 pounds? And you guys walked around the community of
I think we took 10-pound dumbbells.
Yeah, and you guys, that was about a mile that you made him walk.
Made him walk around the neighborhood, just trying to get that aggression out.
And he's never did it since.
Yeah, or at least telling me, or having the same energy with me.
Yeah.
And then I think the most embarrassing part for him was because we have a nice neighborhood.
His
friends are in this neighborhood, so they seen him, and they asked him. So this is where the, I guess, like
accountability.
Yeah, what was that? But I guess that's where he's held responsible for his actions, because now his friends are curious of what we're doing, and now he has to explain to his friends, and kind of, I guess you can say, an embarrassing moment for him. Oh, it's because I yelled at my mom, and now I got Big Dog over here, Papa over here. Now I'm over here, carrying weights above my head because I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And it was a quick experience, quick learning lesson for him, because he didn't like to carry that over his head.
And he's never did it again.
He's never done it again, mind you, sometimes, kids over here, they'll naturally kind of try to, speak back or whatever, but I guess that buck up syndrome, that can't be something that continues on with the family. But I would say, like she said, if you start off early, you don't have to really worry about problems like that in the future, because it'll be a couple here, a couple there. Maybe sometimes you have to kind of check what they do, because like I said, it's phases, and especially back in school, and they get influence from their friends, or they see something, they're like, wait, what? Like they did it to their parents, why can't I do it to mine? Or try to test boundaries, because I feel like the one that gets tested more would be the wife, and not me, because they know that, mind you, we have a good parent relationship with our kids, but she has more of a mentality as being friends. Like, I'm your best friend. Like, yeah, I'm your mom, but I'm your friend. Where I'm not. There's boundary where we're not friends. I'll be your friend once you're 18 and you're an adult, and we can, or maybe 21, because we can actually have a beer. Until then, we're not friends. We're parents, and I have that very strict line between friendship and you are my son and you're kids and we're the adults here. So, we don't have, I guess, that friendship between our kids. Well, I don't have that friendship and I'm talking about friendship like you have with your bros or older folks, as they would understand it. But so I can't be friends with my son or any of my kids. I'm their dad. I'm their adult. I'm the one supposed to be guiding them whatever direction I think is right. So that boundary line never hit. So that's why we never playing or, I mean, mind you, we play around and do stuff like that. But there's a fine line where if I tell them to stop,
there's a time and place.
There's no questioning it. It stops. Boom. It's done and over with. And then we come back to reality and everyone's normal,
we must definitely heavy on like what goes in the home stays in the home. But when we could talk mess to each other in the home and give each other a hard time, but we're out in public, we most definitely are going to act a certain way. I think that it's important to have some type of discipline. Do not be those parents that have no discipline and have structure in your discipline, because that is even worse. So I would just say, have a discipline, be not strict, but like stand on your word, and find what works, because sometimes that might not work. So just kind of find what works and reach out to people, especially, people who you think are good parents. Reach out to them and kind of, get some advice. I feel like don't ever be embarrassed to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. I feel like, no, like we all have, and we just have to find what works for you and your child. But have some type of discipline in place and stand on your word.
Yeah, like every kid's different. Like some kids are video games, tablets. Some kids actually enjoy going outside. So if you punish them if you punish them by sending them outside, you're just giving them what they want. But so you kind of have to cater, like she said, to your kids to see what they like, whether they're nots, read a book or take away their books, because some kids like maybe to read books and stuff like that.
Some kids be like, cool, like I'm just gonna sit here and chill. Like I don't care that you took that away. So at this thing, kind of figuring out, and then also just communicating with your child too, like
just talking to them,
like what's up,
teaching them. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't always have to be discipline or everything too. So because I'm not everything they
grace is most definitely
I'm gonna get them in trouble for, but
giving grace to your child too. I'm heavy on that, and he thinks I too much grace given.
Yeah, she gets too much.
But I don't know, just because I know that I need a lot of grace, so I always give my kids more grace. So I said we balance each other out, and we're the opposites. But this is where I feel like the opposites attract. Plays such a big part, because we balance each other out so much. So I'm just like, where I'm lacking, he picks up, and then I feel like where my kids need that grace, I'm there, or to like nurture them, I'm there, and you're not more of an. I mean, you do give hugs, out hugs, but I love hugs and I love kisses and all that good stuff. So we really do balance each other out.
Yeah, I would say when you do the disciplinary thing too, is punishment, but also make it a positive thing, because if it's always negative, that would mess up the kids too, because I'm not always punishing them and then it's a negative thing. Like I said, it has to have reinforcement. It comes from the heart. It's loving. It's nothing personal, because the kids know when they get in trouble, it's nothing personal. I'm not going to hold it against them and be like, well, that's why you did this, or this is why you sat on the wall, and hold it over them like a grudge. Sometimes they be doing things that I don't agree, but I'm not going to be upset or hold the grudge and be like, oh, I'm gonna punish them even more because they did it this one time. I don't hold the grudges, at least when the kids mingle with each other or get in fights and arguments. I don't hold it against them because I know they're kids. Yeah. So the punishment is not gonna be a lot worse because they did it the second time. Mind you, we'll have that conversation. Be like, hey, it's the second time you did it, buddy. Like, what's going on? What are you thinking? Like, are you not able to control yourself? Because the biggest thing I want my boys to know is that as a man, you have to know how to control your emotions, and your emotions will get tested and pushed buttons and all that. So they have to have that level of control, because people are going to push them, and you cannot be acting out of emotion. Yeah. Wow. Especially since they're boys.
That's good. I wish you were my dad.
That's weird.
No. No, like growing up, like the mindset. I love that. I really love that. That's so good. Yeah. But yeah. So I think that we touched on some good topics, and also, no, I shouldn't. Okay, but yeah.
Shouldn't what?
No, I just kind of want to, because I just kind of feel like me talking about the whooping, I feel like people could take what I say out of content. So I just kind of want to double back one more time. And when I think like popping a 2 or 3 year old, I also mean like if they're doing something that could really harm themselves or others, like turning on the stove and it's hot and touching them, like
poking outlet.
Yeah, like poking. Like I feel like that's like, okay, this could hurt you or this could hurt somebody. Like you could burn the house down. Mm-hmm. So like that's where I'm really gonna be like, I'm heavy on the pop in the butt, because like this could have hurt you. If it's something that's simple, you know, like whatever, just, you know, say no, get to their level and talk to them about it. But when it comes to like them holding a knife or them couldn't hurt somebody,
life-threatening.
Yeah, I think that that's so inappropriate, because I need you to know how serious that could have been, how it could have went left.
But
so
also,
that's it.
I think also too, you gotta let kids do what the kid's supposed to do. Because me, I'm not saying I'm gonna allow my kid to go, you know, into a fire pit. But if I'm telling a younger toddler, not too small either, because I'll make sure it's not too small, but like my 5-year-old is over here curious to go touch the fire that I'm making in the backyard or the barbecue pit, and he thinks it's cool to go touch it, you know, I'm gonna allow certain amount of danger to happen, right? I don't know how to explain that, but I'm gonna allow certain amount of danger to happen, but then but it's supervised danger. So just like toddlers climbing up the pantry or my ladder or something, I'm gonna allow a certain amount of danger to happen. So if something happens or something, you know, he goes and touches the fire, he knows quick, you know, oh, fire is hot. Do that again. Let me get my hand out of the way. He's not gonna do it again. So certain things you have to kind of let happen. Yeah. So, and you can't punish that. You can't punish, you know.
I feel like that's a punishment within itself. Yeah, almost.
They're punishing themselves, because touching fire is going to burn. And then also like climbing a ladder, he's not supposed to, or, you know, the opposite side of the staircase, because we got staircases here. You know, you kind of have to let some of that kind of happen, but it has to be very supervised, and you need to know what you're able to control. So if they do fall or they slip, you're like, hey, buddy, that's what happened. I told you not to do that, you know? So there has to be a level of balance with punishment too. So,
all right. Well, I think that was a good balance to punishment. Love that. I think that was a good place to end. And baby bump, you guys, one more week. What, 1 or 2 more weeks?
No, 2.
2 more weeks? Jesus.
The 22nd of August.
Anyways, you guys, 28 weeks.
30? 38?
Oh.
Not 28. 38.
Ooh, yeah, y'all, pregnancy brain is so real. I am 38 weeks. Baby is head down. We got an ultrasound today. And I'm still 1 centimeter dilated. But when I tell you guys 15 more days, I believe, I am so excited. So excited. So ready to meet our baby and just see his face and sniff his little feet and his little arms and just give him so many kisses. So yeah, but hopefully...
How do you punish the baby?
Shut up. The baby's not getting punished. Are you kidding me? Not until like 2 years old. This is the baby. The baby, yeah. They get so much grace. But yeah, so anyways, thank you guys. I also want to say thank you for the people who are watching our videos. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, I appreciate all the feedback and the love. To see you guys again.
See you.